Do you currently own a MacBook or are planning to get a MacBook and want to know some tips and tricks to save some battery life and squeeze in an extra hour of usage? Well, you're in the right place. Keep watching. Welcome back everyone, it's me Shankar Banda, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys some tips and tricks which you can use to save some battery life on your MacBook. Now this video applies to all the MacBooks out there and all the macOS versions, such as macOS Mojave, macOS Sierra, macOS Big Sur, macOS Catalina, and even the latest macOS that just came out, macOS Monterey. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. Alright guys, so our first battery saving tip for our MacBooks is going to be the energy saver window. So the way that we're going to launch the energy saver window is first launch the spotlight search. So there's two ways you can launch the spotlight search. The first way is that we can click on the magnifying glass right here, and then the second way is that we're going to press Command Space on our keyboard. This will launch the spotlight search. Now you're going to type energy saver, and then once you've typed that, you're going to click on enter. This will launch the energy saver window. So you're constantly working for long periods of time on your MacBook, and it's more likely than not that your eye will go past the fact that your MacBook battery is pretty low and that your MacBook battery will eventually become 0%. It's a good thing to keep the battery status shown in the menu bar so you can keep a good eye on that. Next, you want to make sure that you have checkmark put hard disk to sleep when possible. The reason why you want to checkmark this is because suppose if you're not using a MacBook at all, the MacBook will automatically put your hard disk to sleep, which will conserve battery. By default, the MacBook does not put the hard disk to sleep, and this actually drains a lot of battery. Second thing that you want to make sure that you have checkmark is you want to make sure you have slightly dimmed the display while on battery power. So basically, when you're not charging your MacBook, you want to make sure that your brightness is low, because obviously the brightness basically monopolizes the battery and drains it so much, even if you have a slightly smaller display such as the 13-inch MacBooks. And you also want to make sure that your brightness is not all the way high up, which you can easily do is basically if you have the later version of MacBooks, you can go on your touch bar and just you can slide the brightness percentage. If you're on the older MacBooks, you can simply type brightness, and then you can simply drag it directly from there. Now we want to go back to our energy saver window. Next, you ought to also make sure that you have checked the option which says optimize video streaming while on battery power. This basically will optimize the video streaming, whichever video content that you're streaming from YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, wherever. This will optimize it to conserve battery. Do not checkmark enable power nap while on battery power. This is basically that your MacBook will constantly be fetching new mail updates in your iCloud, and you do not want that checkmark while you're on battery power. And a good thing that you also want to make sure is that this slider right here at the top, you want to keep this slider anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes. So I've kept 2 minutes. So after 2 minutes, if I'm not using, if my MacBook is idle, this display will automatically turn off, which will also conserve battery. So that is the first tip, which is in the energy saver window. Tip is going to be on this application which you can get easily from the App Store, which is completely free, called Battery Monitor. Battery Monitor will basically give you analytics and data about your battery health, battery temperature, and its maximum capacity. So the way that we're going to get this app is very simple. We're going to first go to our App Store. The way we can launch the App Store is if it's in your dock, you can click on it directly from there. If it's not, you can launch the Spotlight search again by either pressing Command Space or either by clicking on this magnifying glass right here. So once you have launched Spotlight Search, simply type App Store, press enter, and then here in the search bar right here, type Battery Monitor. Once you've typed Battery Monitor, you want to download the first application, which is Battery Monitor Health Info. This is a completely free app like I just stated, and it will provide top-notch data about your battery health. So once you've downloaded it, click on Open. So once you've opened the app, you can see here, it will show you maximum capacity of your battery and your current charge level. So if your battery capacity is lower than 80%, I strongly recommend that you replace your MacBook battery from a verified place. And you can actually access more data about your battery health by clicking on this little blue icon right here. So as you can see, it will show you the battery capacity, the current battery capacity, the full capacity, and the design capacity when you originally get your MacBook. And then you can also see your battery temperature. So since I'm using it for the past hour, my battery temperature is slightly high, which is normal. So once we have done that, we can just click out of it by clicking anywhere else on the screen, which will click out of the Battery Monitor app. We can also close the App Store now. MacBooks is very simple. You want to know which applications are passively running in the background, meaning you're not actively using them, but they're still draining battery. So the way that we can check that is, again, click on the battery icon at the top right corner, and then it'll show applications which are using significant energy. So as you can see, QuickTime Player is using a significant amount of my battery, but since I need this application for recording the video, I don't want to quit it. But suppose if you have certain applications which you are not using actively and you want to quit them, all you have to do is click on them right here, and then just click on find them and then click on this X button, which will quit them. Since I'm recording the video like I just did, I will not quit it. Alternatively, what you can do to quit that application is open up that application and then just press Command Q, which will quit that application. So this is a great way to save battery life, because you actually have certain applications which you're not actively using, which you can quit, which will save you battery life. Now we're going to talk about Google Chrome. As you may know, Google Chrome is one of the best browsers out there. It is extremely fast, it is safe from threats and viruses. Well, all that comes with the price. The price, which is, it will drain your MacBook battery drastically. So if you're using Google Chrome will actually drain a lot of battery. And since I don't have any tabs in my Google Chrome right here, it's not showing up. So I strongly recommend that you use Safari if you want to get an extra hour of battery on your MacBook, because Safari is designed by Apple, as you may know, and it's specifically designed for MacBooks to conserve battery. So this is why you want to use Safari if you want to get an extra hour of battery. The big tip for a MacBook is going to be in system preferences. So the way that we're going to launch system preferences is launch Spotlight Search. Once you've launched Spotlight Search, simply type system preferences. And you'll be redirected to this window called System Preferences. So what we're interested in is in notifications. If you've seen my previous video, how to save battery on your iOS devices, you may have seen that I've talked a lot about notifications and how they drastically kill your battery. And that is applicable to MacBooks as well. Notifications drastically kill your MacBook battery life. So what you want to do is manually go through all of the applications and then turn off notifications for the application that you do not need to be notified about. So as you can see here, I've gone through most of the applications and turned on notifications. And once you have done that, we're going to go back to the system preferences by clicking on this back arrow. And then what we're interested in is in security and privacy. So click on that. So basically you want to turn off location services for certain applications. So I'm not saying turn off location services entirely, but rather turn off location services for certain applications, which you do not need to have turned off. So the way that we're going to turn off location services for certain applications is very simple. We're first going to click on the lock right here. It's going to prompt you to enter your password or Touch ID if it's applicable for your MacBook. So I'm going to do that. Once you have done that, you want to uncheck the applications for which you do not need the location services turned on. Once you have done that, you can go back to system preferences and you're good to go. So our final battery saving tip for MacBooks is actually pretty self-explanatory. You want to constantly be checking for new updates that come to your MacBook. So the way that you're going to check if you have any new updates for your MacBook is go to your system preferences again by going to Spotlight Search and then typing system preferences. Once you have done that, you click on software updates, and then you should be displayed with any updates that are pending. You want to be updated to the latest OS version for your MacBook. This is because new updates enhance the battery life for your MacBook. You always want to be updated to the latest version. That's a good way to save battery life on your MacBooks. So there you guys have it. Now you know how you can save battery life on your MacBook. And if this video helped you, make sure to give it a like and share this video to friends and family. And comment down below if you know any other tip that you want to share to the community, or if you have any question, and I'll gladly help. And make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. And that's it for this video. Make sure to check out the other videos which are linked on screen. That's extremely helpful. Stay safe. Bye-bye.